Alright, buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm about to tell you about the absolute circus that is Bitcoin on October 7th, 2025, and I promise you I cannot make this stuff up because reality is already completely unhinged. So Bitcoin just decided to go full send and absolutely demolish its previous records by smashing through $126,000 on October 6th like the Kool-Aid man bursting through a wall. Oh yeah, $126,000 for a single Bitcoin. That's more than a decent car. That's a down payment on a house in some places. That's enough money to make you seriously question your life choices if you sold Bitcoin at $30,000 thinking you were a genius. Right now Bitcoin is hanging around $123,883, which means it's only down about 2% from its peak. Only 2%. My bank account doesn't move 2% in a year unless I'm actively bleeding money on late-night food delivery because I made questionable decisions at midnight. Bitcoin is over here treating a $2,500 drop like it's pocket change. Oh, I'm down a couple thousand? That's cute, hold my beer, watch me do it again tomorrow. Get this though, Bitcoin pumped over 10% in 1 week. 7 days. Meanwhile, my savings account is sitting in the corner giving me 0.5% interest per year and expecting a participation trophy. My savings account is like that kid in gym class who tries really hard but still finishes dead last, while Bitcoin is out here doing backflips and breaking records like it chugged 5 energy drinks and made eye contact with God. Now, crypto people love their stupid little nicknames more than they love actual common sense, so they call October Uptober, which sounds like something your dad would say while wearing socks with sandals. Hey sport, you ready for Uptober? But here's the thing that makes me want to scream into a pillow. They're actually right about this one. Over the past decade, Bitcoin has averaged gains of over 21% in October. 21%. And get this, since 2015, Bitcoin has averaged nearly 58% gains in the fourth quarter. 58%. That's not me having a stroke on the keyboard. That's a real number that real analysts actually confirmed. So all those crypto bros who've been absolutely insufferable on Twitter for the past 11 months saying just wait bro, October is coming bro, have fun staying poor bro? They're currently doing victory laps and high-fiving each other, and I hate that they get to be right. It's like when the class clown who never studies accidentally gets an A on the test and won't shut up about it for the rest of the semester. But here's where reality becomes a sitcom written by someone who ate too many mushrooms. The US government is currently shut down. Like, full-on closed for business. Government workers are at home wondering if they'll get paid. Nobody's answering the phones. The whole circus. And normally when the government shuts down, the stock market freaks out. Everyone panics, it's chaos and terror, right? Wrong. Bitcoin looked at the government shutdown and went, oh hell yes. Finally some good news. And shot upward like it was launched from a cannon made of pure optimism and poor financial decisions. According to Jeff Kendrick from Standard Chartered, Bitcoin historically benefits from fiscal uncertainty and government chaos. So basically when Washington is a complete dumpster fire and can't agree on literally anything, Bitcoin is like, this is my moment to shine, baby. It's the financial equivalent of thriving in chaos. Bitcoin is that friend who shows up to your disaster of a party and goes, this is the best night of my life. The logic actually makes sense in a deranged sort of way. When the government can't even keep the lights on, people start thinking, maybe I should put my money in something that isn't controlled by people who can't pass a basic budget without having a meltdown. It's like choosing to trust a vending machine over a restaurant that's currently on fire. Oh, and remember when all the fancy Wall Street guys in their $1,000 suits used to call Bitcoin rat poison and digital tulip bulbs and a scam for criminals and idiots? Jamie Dimon literally said he'd fire any trader caught buying Bitcoin. He said this with his whole chest. Well, guess what? Now these same people are doing a complete 180 so fast they probably gave themselves whiplash. The Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev just said at a conference in Singapore that tokenization is like a freight train that can't be stopped and it's going to eat the entire financial system. Eat the entire financial system. This man said this with a straight face at a professional conference with other professionals. This isn't some random teenager on Reddit huffing hopium in their mom's basement. This is a CEO of a major company basically saying, yeah, blockchain is going to consume everything like Pac-Man in a maze made of banks. The character development here is absolutely wild. These guys went from Bitcoin is for criminals to Bitcoin is going to consume the world faster than I went from I'll just have one cookie to why is the entire package empty and why do I feel shame. The market for tokenized assets could explode from $600 billion in 2025 to nearly $19 trillion by 2033. That's trillion with a T, as in that's too many zeros for my brain to comprehend without getting a headache. These people want to put everything on the blockchain. Your house, your stocks, your car, probably your grandma's silverware collection. Everything. Wall Street literally went through all 5 stages of grief about Bitcoin. Stage 1, denial. This is just internet funny money for nerds. Stage 2, anger. This is a scam and should be illegal. Stage 3, bargaining. Okay, maybe it's not a scam, but it'll never be mainstream. Stage 4, depression. Oh God, it's working and we're not involved. And finally, stage 5, acceptance. How do we make money from this, and also can we pretend we believed in it the whole time? The transformation is complete. Wall Street is now Bitcoin's biggest hype man, which is like if your parents who said video games would rot your brain suddenly showed up in a gaming chair with RGB lights asking if you want to stream together. Speaking of Wall Street finally getting with the program, US Bitcoin ETFs just had $3.24 billion pour into them in 1 week. That's billion with a B, as in bruh. That's enough money to solve several small countries' problems. That's the second largest weekly inflow on record. You know what this means? Karen from accounting who still types with 2 fingers and asks IT how to open the Google. She probably owns Bitcoin now through her retirement account and has no idea. Bob from HR who printed out his emails last week because he wanted to save them? He's a Bitcoin holder now. Congratulations, Bob. Welcome to the revolution. You have no idea you're even here. Your uncle who thinks TikTok is a type of clock? He's got Bitcoin in his 401k and doesn't know it. The revolution is being filed in triplicate, approved by compliance officers named Derek, and processed through 17 layers of bureaucracy. How beautifully, painfully boring. We went from destroy the financial system to the financial system is investing in us through proper channels. Punk rock got a corporate sponsorship and a benefits package. Now let's talk about Michael Saylor, this absolute legend of a human who looked at his company and said, you know what this software business needs? To become a Bitcoin treasury instead. His company Strategy Inc. just reported an unrealized profit of $3.9 billion from their Bitcoin holdings in the 3rd quarter of 2025. Let me say that again for the people in the back who weren't paying attention. For $1 billion in profit from literally just buying Bitcoin and not selling it. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Step 1, buy Bitcoin. Step 2, don't sell Bitcoin. Step 3, watch number go up. Step 4, profit billions of dollars. Step 5, probably cackle maniacally while swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. This man's investment thesis is so simple a 5-year-old could understand it, and it's working better than most hedge funds with teams of PhDs and algorithms. The stress of watching billions of dollars swing up and down every day must be insane though. I get anxious when my checking account is $10 lower than expected. This man is watching hundreds of millions fluctuate while probably stress eating something expensive and trying to maintain his composure on CNBC interviews. But hey, $3.9 billion probably buys a lot of therapy if you need it. And also probably a private island where you can scream into the void when Bitcoin drops 5% in an hour. Now let's get into the price predictions because this is where things go from reasonable analysis to did you fall and hit your head territory real fast. Standard Chartered is predicting Bitcoin could hit $135,000 in the near term and $200,000 by the end of the year. $200,000 could hit $165,000 by year end. These are banks saying this. Real banks with buildings and ATMs and people in ties who say words like fiscal responsibility. They're throwing around numbers that sound like the price of a nice house in a decent neighborhood. This is either the most bullish thing that's ever happened or we're all having a shared delusion. Maybe both. Could definitely be both. Maybe someone spiked the water coolers at every major financial institution and now everyone's just vibing and saying whatever feels right. Here's a subplot that absolutely sends me. VanEck research head Matthew Siegel is saying younger investors that humans have been obsessed with since we figured out how to dig. The thing that started wars. The thing people killed each other over for thousands of years. Zoomers and millennials are looking at gold like, okay, boomer, that's cool and all, but I'll take my internet money that doesn't physically exist. Thanks anyway, though. They're choosing invisible computer tokens over the thing that every civilization in human history agreed was valuable. Can you imagine explaining this to someone from literally any point in history before like 2010? Yeah, so we decided gold is too old-fashioned and heavy, so now we're investing in numbers on computers that represent, look, it's complicated, but you gotta trust me on this one, chief. A time traveler from the 1800s would show up like, so you have this gold we fought wars over? Yeah, but it's boring now. And you prefer computer money? Time machines so fast. They'd be gone. Absolutely yeeted back to their own time period. So what's actually driving this absolute clown show of a market? Let's break it down. First, institutional money is flooding in. When pension funds and banks start buying, that's not some kid with $50 from their birthday. That's billions with a B moving around. The ETF inflows are proof that big money is here and they're serious. Second, supply squeeze is real. Exchange supply is at a 6-year low. People are taking their Bitcoin off exchanges and storing it away like digital doomsday preppers hoarding supplies for the apocalypse. Less supply available plus same or more demand equals, and I'm using very sophisticated technical analysis here, number go up. It's basic supply and demand, the one concept from economics class anyone actually remembers. Third, macro uncertainty everywhere. Government shutdowns, fiscal chaos, general economist internet money starts looking pretty appealing. Fourth, seasonality and self-fulfilling prophecies. October has historically been Bitcoin's best month, so people expect it to go up, so they buy, which makes it go up, which proves they were right. It's financial astrology, except the predictions keep coming true, so maybe there's something to it. But okay, reality check time. Time to be the responsible adult nobody invited to this party. This is still incredibly, stupidly, magnificently risky. Bitcoin could pull back to $118,000 to $120,000 tomorrow, and that would just be normal market behavior. We've seen way bigger crashes on random Tuesdays for absolutely no reason. Bitcoin drops 20% because someone sneezed is a real headline that could happen. The volatility 2 days. That's a $5,000 swing in 48 hours. My entire used car is worth less than Bitcoin's weekend mood swing. Is casually throwing around more money than most people's annual salary like it's monopoly money. And all these fancy predictions from analysts at big banks wearing expensive suits? They all come with disclaimers saying Bitcoin price predictions are speculative, markets are volatile, do your own research, which is legal speak for we're making educated guesses and praying we look smart later. Please don't sue us if we're completely wrong. Nobody actually knows what's going to happen. Not the analysts making sick algorithms. Not the AI bots. Nobody. They're all just really confident guessers with fancy spreadsheets. So where does this leave us regular humans? Bitcoin is at all-time highs doing victory laps. Institutions are piling in. Wall Street had a spiritual awakening. The government shutdown somehow made everything better. And none of this makes any logical sense, but here we are living in the weirdest timeline. Is this the beginning of Bitcoin's unstoppable rocket ship to 200K by New Year's Eve? Maybe. Is this the absolute top before a 50% crash where everyone loses their minds? Also maybe. That's crypto baby. Nobody knows anything. Everyone's got opinions. And we're all just passengers on this roller coaster that someone built while possibly intoxicated. The smart move? Don't invest rent money. Don't invest grocery money. Don't invest I need this for important life stuff money. Only invest money that if it vanished tomorrow, you'd be sad but not homeless. Don't FOMO into all-time highs because everyone's excited. Maybe actually learn what you're buying. And please write down your password and seed phrase somewhere safe. Not on your computer. Not in your email. On paper like a caveman. The number of people who lost Bitcoin because they forgot their password is too high. There's literally a guy trying to dig up a landfill because he threw away a hard drive with hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin on it. Don't be that guy. That guy is living in eternal pain. If you make money, congrats. You're a genius. Tell everyone at parties. Make it your whole personality. If you lose money, hey, at least you've got interesting stories about that time you watched numbers for the 284th time today. You heard it here, folks. Passwords be remembered. May your seed phrases be safely stored. And may you never have to explain to your family why you're stressed about internet money at Thanksgiving dinner.